Hey,
You
Melissa.
judged.
I
Yes.
should. I should. Melissa, I have a question.
All right.
Pick me, pick me, pick me. I have a question.
You,
Okay.
Bonnie, Bonnie.
I am a tinfoil hat wearer, like a conspiracy person from way back. I'm like I like my printed calendar. I like my map. I'll use technology. I'm usually, interestingly, an early adopter, but with skepticism,
Right.
cynicism. I think that comes from having gotten my all but dissertation PhD in instructional technology. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot I don't trust about technology. However, I have seen folks feeling comfortable using it to check facts. Asterisk, really? Um,
Right.
but with something as intense as and potentially overwhelming as astrology, where there
Mm-hmm.
is infinite amount of information out there and some of it ancient, in
Mm-hmm.
need of translation texts in dead languages, like so much cool shit. Can AI help someone learn a little more about astrology or top line it, take away some of the overwhelm? What, I know you don't have the same relationship with AI that I do. So
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about AI and astrology?
Yes. First, let me say that it scared the ever loving bejesus out of me and still does for a lot of reasons. As a therapist, as just a human wanting to know information, and as an astrologer, yes, yes, yes. Um, I was resistant as well, but mm, because of the way my brain works, I have a lot of difficulty, like executive functioning, just categorizing and breaking things down. Like I can come up with content and write, and figure out the things, but it's so overwhelming, it just sits there. So, what I have really used AI for is whether it's scheduling or um I don't know, things that like are not that don't really matter. Like, what could I say in an email about this? I'm like, oh, thank God, that would have taken me 2 hours to come up with something very simple. Since I've begun doing more writing and more astrology, I've been very hesitant. With the writing, I've used it to just it almost like a not a spell check, but edit. Sometimes I put the information in there for just a little bit to edit, but then I'm
Like
like, I
what?
don't really
Like flow or like checking grammar?
grammar.
Okay.
Yeah, like just editor kind of things, like
Okay.
sentence structure. And but I really don't like anyway what they do. So and also just to even look for quotes, like show me some quotes about grief, for instance, because I just did this 14-day series on grief.
Excellent, by the way.
Well,
Excellent
thank
series.
you.
So thoughtful. Yes.
So I knew the authors and the different people and researchers who I wanted to use, but instead of going and looking up every single thing, I'm like, please present a Martin Prechtel or Anne Lamott or Joy Harjo or like a lot of different people. And I think I took some screenshots. I'm like, Joy Harjo 100% did not say that shit. It doesn't even make sense. Or then they would say something and not quote the specific source. So
Ooh,
I'm like, if so, then what I started doing was getting sassy, and I would say, do not send me a quote unless you can provide the actual like chapter, blah, 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 blah. And then what sometimes, not always, what it would do is say, the equivalent of, well, this is not actually a quote. This is pretty much what she was saying in general. I'm
so
like, that's not a poem.
attribution required. Show me your sources. And if you're just giving me a summary of what her general theme and message was, I already got that. I don't need you for that.
That's right.
Okay.
They did it one time with Anne Lamont. I'm like, where? Show me
Yeah.
where.
Because
Where did this come from? So that's, I know that this isn't astrology. This is just an example to
Fascinating.
say,
Mhm.
don't just, if you're doing something that really matters, you're going to have to check it out anyway, because at the very bottom it says this ChatGPT or whatever AI is not always accurate. A lot of times it is. And a lot of times there's great information. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about this in that way. But I'm nervous to do anything with astrologically, certainly therapy wise, without then going back and checking it and checking it and checking it. And I don't know percentage wise. I mean, I could be ticking off marks, but it's enough where every time I have to go back and say annotate, every time I have to go back and I would say, particularly with quotes, or even like, hey, suggest a song that might be good for da 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 da. I mean, I know songs that I want to use for, with my astrology. And then I'm like, do not, under any circumstances, send me Florence and the Machine again. I mean, I love, 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 but no more. This cannot work for every single astrological placement in every form of grief. I swear to God. I mean, thank you so much, but scrap it.
That's
I've worn it
amazing.
out. And then a few times they shared something and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that person. I'm looking them up. I'm like, that person doesn't exist. Or that person exists and that song, that person never even sang that song. So if you just put things out there without really checking,
Okay.
you could be in trouble. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Do you have any
No, no, no,
questions?
no, no, no. I'm loving where this is going because of course I then go, well, where do you go to check a source when the AI is telling you it is the source? Right.
It is not the
It's not.
source.
It's been programmed by
It's the
people.
piecing together of
Sure.
information. And, I did take a course last year on AI and its use in therapy, psychology.
Nice.
And the person who was responsible for doing the training pretty much said, as we all know, this AI is only as good as the prompters and
Sure.
the trainers.
Yep.
And if somebody wants to be Dr. Evil, what's the guy who was Will Ferrell on what's that show? The Lego movie? He was Lord
Ne-
Business. If
Never
somebody
saw
wants to, oh my God.
Do I need to see
If
the
somebody
Lego
wants to
movie?
be Lord Business,
Lord
if
business.
somebody wants to say, we're going to hire people and we're going to do it in a way where it's completely unbiased. If they program in like this means equals this person, da 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 da. So it's like the good guys if they're doing this, the bad guys if they're doing this, which again is so,
Right.
binary. But
Yeah.
anyway, those are some issues.
Okay.
Regarding astrology, when I do the couple of times I've done it for me, I did it for myself first.
Okay.
I know my astrological chart. I know what it looks like. I know the
Yep.
stuff. I know it in Placidus. I know it in Whole House. I'm starting to learn Vedic astrology, but I'm not going there. So I'm like, okay, let's run a chart. Here's my birth time, which, shouldn't have done that, but whatever. And here's where I was born, and here's the time and all of that. Mhm. Guess what? I'm not. I am not an Aries moon.
Come on.
No, I am not an Aries
Wait,
moon.
wait. So it's even using the actual information about what sign was the moon in when you were
Yes,
born. It's using science or data to just look that up in the farmer's almanac tables and it gets it wrong because you're Taurus moon all day. Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
So that's one of the things right there.
Interesting.
On another one, it messed up the house system. Let me just say this, on every single solitary chart I've ever run, something has been wrong.
Okay. Good to know.
And so in order for it to, there might be things other than ChatGPT. I don't know what all is out there. I'm just being basic about it. I am paying for it
Well, there will be
but
another
I'm
10 pieces of software out by the time we upload this. So even if, I mean, like you pick Chat GPT and that's where you are. Got it.
Yes. And so what I wanted to know was, hey, I know who I am and what's in my chart.
Right.
I'd like to know what they have to say.
About
They, them,
interpretation,
whoever.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like give me some ideas. if they can get it right, the ideas are not terrible, but they're pretty basic. I wouldn't say that they're like connecting any things, but what I then found was, so I'll challenge it. I get smart with it. I'm like, this is crap. No,
Does it think Pluto's a
hat,
planet?
hat full of water.
Yeah, full of water.
I know. And then people are going to shit talk me because I'm using AI. I understand. I don't know how to, meaning, how do you balance
We're
all
all
of the,
dialing it in. So the shit talking that's going on, cool. It's not personal, but there people feel very strongly and they want their opinion
I understand.
heard, and still learning. Still
That's right.
right.
Phone it
It's
in. Thank you for your information.
right. Is
So
Pluto?
when I said
I gotta know.
to them,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again. I might have just
Is
overtalked you.
Pluto a planet? I gotta know.
Yeah.
According to AI. Good.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
I'll accept that.
When they were like, hey, here's what you're like with your full moon or your moon in Aries, I was like, no, I know a lot about this. No, no. In fact, do it again, try it again. I don't know what they came up with. There are a few different things. And then what they said, it said was, and I think I have a screenshot of that. We cannot access the ephemeris for before such and such. Yeah,
Ooh. Ooh. So it knows it would need to access an ephemeris to have full and complete information, and it knows the
that's right.
limits of its access.
But they can't. So until I plugged in like the exact, I'm like, all right, assholes, not really, but all right, you think you know so much, taking a screenshot, giving you the exact information of my,
Like the chart wheel.
degrees, minutes. Well, I actually just did the degrees and the minutes, and I had to, you had to plug the whole thing in. Like you
You
got
do
to know.
type like this many degrees, this many minutes. Okay.
Or cut and paste or whatever.
Sure.
It was able then at that point to give some good information. But it concerns me greatly that people might use this thinking that they would get something accurate, because unless like, don't start there. How about that? Don't start there.
That
Don't
because
start
that would
there.
really concern me too. The idea of someone who's tinkering with astrology, they know enough to get themselves in trouble, basically. But they're like, well, I can't afford a reading. Let me just go get one from ChatGPT. I started to say Chart GPT. That should be a thing.
Oh, oh,
Not it. Not it. I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. You do that.
redacted.
Do you want me to bleep out the what we actually said? There's a
Yeah,
so
please.
that thing would be really great for it's great as a learning tool maybe, but if you're using it as like, when am I going to feel better? Like when I was in the depths of despair, I could see me going
Oh
out
my
to anyone on
gosh.
the internet and going, please tell me when this ends. And if I was told you got to hang on for another 3 years, I'd be like, I'm out. I can't. Like, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. It's too hard. I would be concerned about those types of explorations not going in the right places.
Which is a really good point. I didn't even think about that, because there's the natal chart and then the interpretation of if you can get it accurate. But then, because I do writing for a newsletter, I'm like, I'm looking on the internet. There's so many different transits going on, and I have a sense of most of them, but I'm like, okay, for the next 2 weeks, what might be the most significant? Like, what are the most significant things happening? I look at your stuff, I'm looking at what I have, and then I'm like checking it out.
Yep.
See if ChatGPT knows. And sometimes ChatGPT knows. However, you should have seen the kerfuffle when I was talking to ChatGPT about Saturn, Neptune, stationing direct, retrograde, da da da. I can't even tell you what they gave me. I'm like, I started questioning myself. Then I'm like, that's not true. Those dates aren't right. What are you saying? Also, Jupiter is no longer in Gemini. What are you talking about? I mean, there were some things like about current transits that were just wrong.
Right.
Totally wrong.
And so this then gets into, there are so many different types of astrology, and even within tropical astrology, there are different ways of like people have added a 13th zodiac sign. There's because of precession, the
Right.
stars are not fixed, but then there are also people who do traditional astrology, and these are the settings, and this is what we're actually tracking.
Right.
This
There are no settings in AI. You have to be so specific. Like, this is what I'm using. This is the house system, which makes sense. This, tropical, geocentric, da, da, da. I mean, all of those different things. And still, no.
So here's what after hearing your awesome overview, which I so appreciate, thank you.
Sure.
I would possibly want to say, hey, I'm going to do a podcast episode on planets out of bounds. Can you give me a good, straightforward, not overwhelming explanation of the word declination as relates to out of bounds status astrologically? It could probably have helped me last episode.
Yes, but but you would have to check it. I mean, that's the thing. I don't at this point. Yeah, I mean, so I volunteered as tribute.
Thank you. That's great. I'm so glad you do. Like a Leo, I'll do it. I got it.
Yeah, but I would be really, really, really careful. That is not where I would start.
Yeah, and even like using myself as that example of using, can you help give me better ways to say, like I would put in, here's what I want to say, but this is long and rambly.
That's right.
Without taking it into science, can you keep it basic, fun, accessible, not overwhelming, but also helpful? Like
That is exactly right. It
give a
has
lot of
helped me.
rules. Yeah, give a lot of rules to your chat.
Yes, yes,
Chat
yes.
GPT is
All
out
of
of
that.
bounds. Natally, chat GPT is out of bounds. Yeah.
100%.
We got to give it
When
the
was it
rules.
born? When was it born? Let's look. I don't mean we have to look right this
No.
second, but wouldn't it be interesting if
There-
something was out of bounds in Aquarius?
birth chart. There is a birth chart for chat GPT. Created. All right, hang on.
It is so helpful. Like when I put the information in, like I want, there are a couple of things with astrology, some programs, some workbooks I want to do, and I know what I want to do, and I know what the information is. So it's just a matter of like, how might I break this down into 6 weeks or something? And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then I fill in the gaps. It's really more it's like the however many mile view.
10,000 foot view.
Thank you. Thank you.
So launched on November 30th, 2022 by OpenAI, ChatGPT. Happy birthday, November 30th, 2023. It was being given a happy birthday for a year. So ChatGPT released November 30th, 2022. Okay, I have multiple sources saying that is its birthday. So, by the way, be careful what you Google. I don't Google, by the way. I DuckDuckGo because no Google. Sorry, I'm saying that on YouTube right now, but no. For reasons. We want to go November 22nd. No, November 1st. What was it? November 30th? What the hell
30th.
did I say? Of 2022.
You said November 30th. And where was it? Was it created in Santa Monica, or does that matter?
It will matter. So don't look at the rising. I'm just taking a look at this Pisces. Pisces moon, Pisces Neptune. No duh. No duh. Because wow, at the mystery of all that. Mars in Gemini. Mars opposing Venus. Are you fucking kidding me? Mars opposing Venus conjunct Mercury during Sagittarius season. That tracks. So it's
a pretty close opposition to Mercury. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, Mars opposite Venus conjunct Mercury. Yes.
And yeah. Okay.
That opposition is absolutely on point. While Pluto had retrograded back into, no, Pluto had not yet explored Aquarius, right? So we got Pluto still in Capricorn. Daddy Saturn in Aquarius.
Wow.
Oh my God. The nodes in Taurus and Scorpio. Okay. All right. Even without time and place, I'm like, yeah, got it. Oh, but was anything out of bounds? Hang on.
Out of bounds.
That was what I was going to check. All right. Listing Not listening.
I'm gonna go check it.
It's time. Its body's been on too long a clock. All right, we want to go to Mercury out of bounds, Mars out of bounds.
Mercury and Mars retro and out of bounds. Ooh. They should have checked with someone.
I should have checked. Steve Jobs never issued iOS updates during Mercury retrograde. Just saying. After he died, they always do.
Oh, tell me about it.
Not just like app updates, like iOS full on number change updates. And it's like, not till we're out of the shadow. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
There is a thing in my other world, in therapy world, where in order to save people money and in order to monetize in different ways, chatbots are beginning to do therapy. It is a problem. I cannot quote the article, but an article that I read, a notable publication where somebody who is contemplating,
I saw probably the same article, similar article, research done on how many minutes / exchanges back and forth does it take before ChatGPT supports a decision that you may be seriously contemplating in the not best mental health space.
But yeah, and not even that, just some of the responses were unacceptable.
That too.
Illinois has just outlawed, prohibited the use of AI in therapy in their state.
So not in client dealings, but could be in like scheduling appointments, reminders, or is it completely gone?
Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't even consider the administrative part of it.
Right.
No, I think that it is, you are not allowed to use chatbots as therapists.
That's great. Good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
watch a lot of murder shows. And so I'm like, how many times have somebody gone, like they're sitting on the stand defending, no, I didn't. The reason I was Googling, how do you kill your wife and make it look like you were never home, blah, blah, blah. It's like, because I'm writing a screenplay. And I'm like, what happens when it's like, yeah, I asked ChatGPT how to, because I'm working on a story.
We're going to the pre-crime units, aren't we?
We are. Okay, I'm going to find my tinfoil hat. That's good. This was helpful.
All right. Sure thing.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.